Hello, welcome to the 16th episode in this spiritual practice and sharing of the Gospel of Thomas. If you haven't joined us before or haven't seen any of these recordings that we make ahead of a live sharing, which this time will be on Monday, the 4th of December, this coming Monday. Then you can look back through the videos to the beginning of our studying and follow it there. But you're welcome to join us live without any experience of these sessions. Although it's the 16th episode, each one can be accessed on its own. Actually, this will be the last of our sharings and meditations on Thomas for a while, until after Christmas, when we will return and continue. So today, Malcolm and I are going to read for you 3 times Logion 81 to 85, and we're reading, as we always do, from this translation by Jean-Yves Leloup. So translated into French and rendered into English. Let's just take a moment to bring ourselves to the readings. We will share the first reading, and then Malcolm and I will discuss for a while our impressions of the reading. We haven't prepared this. They will be spontaneous impressions and sharings. And we do this by way of introduction, mindful of the fact that we're doing it with our intellect, and these logion really meet us more deeply below the level of intellect. And so the second and third readings will be Lectio Divina readings, where we invite the word or phrase that speaks to us individually to take root in us at ever deepening levels of our being. And so we invite you, as you listen, even in the first reading, but more so in the second and third reading, to just stay with that word or phrase that suggests itself to you. After the second reading today, Malcolm and I may offer words or phrases that rise for us, as is the practice in Lectio Divina, an ancient Christian practice. But after the third reading, we will simply remain in silence for 10 minutes, contemplating the word, the phrase, the feelings, and deeper than that, the presence of Yeshua, of Jesus the Christ. So Malcolm will begin our first reading.
Yeshua said, "Whoever has become rich, may he become king. Whoever has power, may he renounce it." Yeshua said, "Whoever is near to me is near to the fire. Whoever is far from me is far from the kingdom." Yeshua said, when images become visible to people, the light that is in them is hidden. In the icon of the light of the Father, it will be manifest, and the icon veiled by the light.
Yeshua said, when you see your true likeness, you rejoice. But when you see your icons, those that were before you existed, and that never die, and never manifest, what grandeur! Yeshua said, Adam was produced by a great power and a great wealth. Yet he was not worthy of you. If he had been worthy, he would have not known death. I'll just say those last two lines again because I changed the word order. If he had been worthy, he would not have known death. So we've promised to say something.
It is so difficult.
Hmm.
And I was reminded, as we've said before, of the Buddhist koans that are just not meant to be discussed in this way. And in fact, one of these pretty much is a Buddhist koan that's used in Zen, in Logyan 84. But when you see your icons, those that were before you existed, and that never die and never manifest, what grandeur. And there's a Zen koan that's given to disciples, which is, who were you before you were born? And it's really saying something quite similar to reflect. And it's not meant really to have a sort of answer. It's not that kind of question. This is not that kind of statement either. So when you see your true likeness, your true self as you exist now, you rejoice. But that might seem like the end of it, but it's actually just the beginning of it.
Yeah.
because the icon was there before you were there and will carry on after you were there, and the eternity, the beyond space and time of it contrasts with our life now within space and time, which in some ways is a little episode of delusion, really. So it seems quite often.
Yeah. Sometimes when we read these koans and sayings, I find myself seeing Yeshua and his close companions gathered around him. And it's as if he's teaching them to pray, teaching them contemplative prayer. We have perhaps made an icon of contemplative prayer in a way as re-engagement with that way of being, a way of praying. It's not even possible to say that way of praying, really. It's incorrect to say that and elusive to say that, because today we're going to do some Lectio Divina, which is interpreted in a way that suits us to present it. And so there's not one way at all of contemplative prayer, but I suppose intention is something, attitude is something, willingness to come to silence is something. But each time we read, it's as if Yeshua, for me, is taking us deeper and deeper. Life and prayer are not separate. Eternity and finite existence, or existence is the wrong word, finite manifestation, are not separate. Within the manifestation, we might see the icon of eternity, and in seeing the icon of eternity, the icon, well, he says, is in the last saying there, I think it was the last one. No, it's not. It's 83. In the icon of the light of the Father, it will be manifest. And the icon veiled by the light. So in seeing perhaps the icon of eternity, the icon then becomes veiled by eternity. As we enter eternity, I'm interested in the part about Adam in the last one, where Yeshua says, but Adam isn't worthy of you. He would not have known death had he been. Perhaps Adam is Adam experienced manifestation and is manifest and comes from the light. Words break down, but Adam is manifest and realizes his manifestation realizes his physicality, but has become overwhelmed by that very physicality, the material. Jesus is teaching us to go through the veil of what appears. And therefore, if we are in that overwhelm of attachment to material, attachment to manifestation, then we are unable, therefore unworthy, to behold the Absolute, to behold our own Absolute. This is why we are reluctant to talk, isn't it, Malcolm? Because because as we touch what is real, we can't speak anymore. There's no the word to say what as we touch what is real. As I'm saying something like that, those words are deconstructed and they've turned into dust, which is another word. Yeah. So I'll stop for a moment.
Yeah, I suppose what is outside of time and space is outside of words. It has to be. We've sort of forgotten how to be that. That's why there are these sort of methods of contemplative prayer now that people put forward. You know, how you have to sit, what you have to think, how you deal with your thoughts, and how you use mantras, and as a sort of technique. But all this is so far beyond technique that I think it's necessary to start somewhere. And I guess we all started with technique. I did.
Yeah.
But it just moves so far beyond that the technique becomes irrelevant.
Yeah. I remember Thomas Keating struggling with the words technique and method, and he felt that centering prayer was method rather than technique. But I guess it would be a diversion to go into that now. But yeah, I think method or technique is necessary, a necessary phase for us. Though I remember contemplation just happening naturally for me as a child, and probably for all of us as children. And well, it must be surely, because you look into a baby's eyes and you meet contemplation full on. It's profound beyond words, and no wonder the baby doesn't speak. But yeah, method and technique have their place for sure, to help us to consciously realize that contemplation can open the way to experience of the divine, and therefore even a mechanical approach to that method for a time, maybe years, and something I still come back to in moments. Certainly, come back to a sacred word that helps me to unhook from attachments and thoughts in any given or any situation. Remember Matthew's teaching this morning in morning prayer. don't worry. Don't worry about what you're going to say, isn't it? Don't worry about what you're going to say. It'll be given to you at the time. I think the method can help us with that as well. Yeah.
Yes, I too fall back on that at times when it just seems too difficult. um, it is a way in. It is a way in. And I take what you say about the innocent contemplation of small children. It's quite scriptural as well, of course, and that gets conditioned out of us
Yeah.
as we are taught that attachment is a good thing.
Yeah.
That, I suppose that's about Adam
Yeah. So if
being,
we remain like Adam, then attachment has us. It's yeah.
and we die.
Yeah.
But without that, we can't die. Without attachment, there's nothing to die from. You die. Oh, what am I saying? There's nothing to die.
Hmm.
Not sure what I'm saying, but
I think
you can only die if you're attached to things. You can, without being attached, there can't be a death because you're not leaving anything. There's nothing to leave behind. It's death is seen as a loss, but if you've got nothing to lose, then it's not possible to die.
perhaps this is what Jesus means in the canonical Gospels when he says, "You must die to yourself. You die to
Mm-hmm.
self. Pick up your cross and
Mm-hmm.
follow me. Those
Mm-hmm.
who do not do that are not worthy of me." That word again, worthy. But I don't think there's anything moralistic in that or judgmental in that. It's just that if we don't pick up our cross, if we don't die to self, then we're not ready. We're not able. We don't have the. We're, as you say, our attachments are ruling and preventing us from realizing, just simply realizing, opening our eyes, our inner eye, our being, soul, to the presence of the kingdom of God that is here and
Yes, that's,
endless.
yeah, a different perspective on worthiness, which I suppose there can be a worthiness of attachment, thinking we're worthy because we give lots of money to charity or we worship properly, or, and that's a worthiness of attachment. And this is about a worthiness of non-attachment, turning it on its head, as always.
I think it would be easy to keep this conversation moving backwards and forwards between us, but I don't feel like it's necessary now. I think we've opened something, and
Yeah.
that's why we try to do it, try to speak. So let's come to our second reading now.
Yeshua said, "Whoever has become rich, may he become king. Whoever has power, may he renounce it." Yeshua said, "Whoever is near to me is near to the fire. Whoever is far from me is far from the kingdom." Yeshua said, when images become visible to people, the light that is in them is hidden. In the icon of the light of the Father, it will be manifest, and the icon veiled by the light. Yeshua said, when you see your true likeness, you rejoice. But when you see your icons, those that were before you existed, and that never die and never manifest, what grandeur! Yeshua said, Adam was produced by a great power and a great wealth, yet he was not worthy of you. If he had been worthy, he would not have known death.
When images become visible to people, the light that is in them is hidden.
Whoever is near to me is near to the fire.
What grandeur! But Adam is not worthy of you.
If he was worthy, he would never die. What grandeur!
Adam, earth being. Near to the fire.
Fire that burns away the ego, purifies the self.
The icon is veiled in the light by the light. I am the fire. I am the light.
Transmutation takes place in the fire.
Matthew chapter 6, they said, Master, teach us to pray. The third reading. Yeshua said, whoever has become rich, may he become king. Whoever has power, may he renounce it. Yeshua said, whoever is near to me is near to the fire. Whoever is far from me is far from the kingdom. Yeshua said, when images become visible to people, the light that is in them is hidden. In the icon of the light of the Father, it will be manifest, and the icon veiled by the light. Yeshua said, when you see your true likeness, you rejoice. But when you see your icons, those that were before you existed, and that never die and never manifest, what grandeur! Yeshua said, Adam was produced by a great power and a great wealth, yet he was not worthy of you. If he had been worthy, he would not have known death. 10 minutes.